Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a critical, often overlooked risk in any corporate acquisition, one that can turn a fantastic deal into an absolute nightmare. We are talking about software licenses. And if you get this wrong, you're not just buying a company, you could be inheriting a huge, unexpected problem.
All right, before we get started, just our standard disclaimer for this series. This is part 5 of a 15-part overview of a report on software license audits by Virtualization Options, LLC. Now, as you can probably guess, these explainers are just a fraction of what's in the full report. This is not legal advice, and it doesn't come with any warranty. So for your specific situation, you should always consult your own legal team. Okay, let's just get right to the heart of it. Picture this. You just acquired a company. The ink is barely dry on the deal, the press release is out. But here's the question that really ought to be keeping you up at night. Did you actually acquire its software? Or did you just buy yourself a multi-million-dollar compliance problem? This is a huge blind spot that can completely derail the most carefully planned M&A.
To really understand this risk, we kind of have to throw out our old ideas about ownership. See, when it comes to software, the rules are just completely different. Here's the most important thing to get your head around. Buying software isn't like buying a building. You don't actually own it. It's much more like buying a movie ticket. You've got the right to use it, but only under some very, very specific rules. And when a company changes hands, well, those rules can really come back to bite you.
Now take that complexity and imagine it just exploding in a multinational deal. The rules for that movie ticket aren't just set by the software company. They're governed by local laws. A license transfer that might be totally fine in the US could be completely illegal in Germany, creating a legal minefield that you have to navigate very, very carefully.
So where are all these rules hiding? Well, they're buried deep in the fine print of every single software contract in something called a change of control clause. This is the part of the contract that basically dictates your fate when an acquisition happens. And when you dig into that fine print, you're going to find one of these 5 paths. They range from the super easy, like a simple notification, all the way to a complete dead end. And knowing which path you're on before the deal closes is just absolutely crucial. And the financial stakes here are just massive. I mean, in the best case scenario, it's a simple piece of paperwork. But in the worst case, that multi-million-dollar software asset you thought you were acquiring is suddenly worthless, and you have to go out and buy it all over again at full price. Ouch. And then there are the clauses that put you completely at the mercy of the vendor. When a contract says consent is at their discretion, that means they hold all the cards. They can use this as leverage to jack up your prices, kill your discounts, or force you onto a more expensive subscription model, all for the privilege of using the software you thought you already paid for. So, how do you navigate this legal maze without getting trapped? Well, it's not about luck. It's about having a plan. A clear, 4-stage process that has to start long before that deal is ever signed.
This timeline right here, this is your roadmap to safety. And notice when the most critical work happens, before the deal closes. Weeks, even months ahead of time, your team has to be digging into these licenses. Because if you wait until after the deal is done, you've already lost. Your leverage is gone, you're at the mercy of the vendors.
Okay, a really critical step in this whole process is the official vendor notification letter. And this isn't just an email, it's a formal legal document. And believe me, every single word matters. Your letter needs to be surgically precise. You have to lay out exactly what's happening, who's involved, and which specific agreements are affected. This isn't just about being thorough. It's about leaving absolutely no room for a vendor to come back and challenge you later.
But it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. The tone should be cooperative, not demanding. Remind them of your broader relationship if you have one. That can be great leverage. And most important of all, have your legal team review every single word before it goes out. Seriously, think of it as your best insurance policy against a multi-million-dollar mistake.
So let's bring this all home. What's the one thing you absolutely have to remember from all of this? Why does this really matter? Well, as the source report for this explainer puts it, this is the thing that everybody overlooks. Deal teams will obsess over financials, real estate, customer contracts, but they'll barely even glance at the software licenses, the very engine that actually runs the business. It's a massive and way too common mistake. At the end of the day, getting these software license transfers right isn't just about compliance. It's about protecting the value of what you just bought. It's about making sure the deal you think you're getting is the deal you actually get.
So, we'll leave you at this question.
The next time you're looking at a deal, your M&A checklist, it's got finance covered, it's got legal covered, but is it ready for the hidden digital liabilities? Because in today's world, the most dangerous risks aren't always on the balance sheet. Sometimes they're buried deep in the code.